Hello everyone, my name is Tresia Hartati UP with ID number A121222075. I'm from Tadawalku University from the Faculty of Teacher Training in Education and from English Education Study Program. The purpose of this video is to fulfill an assignment for the final project of Advanced Communication Grammar Skills course. Okay, let's move to the first material. Let's learn how to use adverb clause of contrast. First of all, an adverb clause of contrast is a type of dependent clause that shows a contrast or unexpected result between two ideas. These clauses typically begin with subordinating conjunction such as however, though or although, even though or even if, despite or despite of, and whereas or while. Okay, let's learn more about the conjunction to form adverb clause of contrast. The first one is however. However is an adverb used to introduce a statement that contrasts with or seems to contradict something that has been said previously. For example, she was very tired. However, she decided to go to the party. And the second example is he didn't like the movie. However, he watched it until the end. The second conjunction is though and although. Though and although mean the same. We use them to contrast two opposite meanings, positive and negative, and it always gives unpredicted results. We can use though in any part of the sentence, but although typically cannot. For example, the first one is though. The example of the sentence is, though she has plenty of money, she doesn't spend much. And after that, the example of although, the sentence is, although she has plenty of money, she doesn't spend much. The next conjunction is even though and even if. Even though is used to express something that actually happened despite a contrary situation. It is used to indicate facts that go against expectation or logic. For example, even though it was raining, we decided to go hiking. And there is even if. Even if is used to express something that might happen. It is used to indicate an outcome that will not change despite certain conditions or situations. For example, even if you paid me, I wouldn't watch the movie. The next conjunction is despite. Despite is a preposition in English. Despite is considered more formal and is usually used more often, both verbally and in writing than in spite of. For example, despite the snowy day, I still have to go to school. And the next is in spite of. Different from despite, the phrase in spite of sounds less frequently used, and this phrase also tends to be more informal. For example, in spite of being hungry, I still managed to walk 2 kilometers from here. And the last but not least, there are whereas and while. They both have the idea of contrast or a comparison of opposite. For example, she enjoyed an outdoor activity, whereas her brother preferred indoor hobby. And when you use whereas and while, use a comma before it or in the middle of the sentence. Okay, let's move to the second material, which is expressing condition in adverb clause. Here are structure of conditional adverb clauses. The first one is main clause plus subordinating conjunction plus conditional clause, and then subordinating conjunction plus conditional clause plus main clause. Here are the conjunction to form adverb clause of condition. The first one is if. This is the most common conjunction used to express a condition. For example, if it rains, we will stay inside. And the next, there is unless. This conjunction means expect if and sets up a negative condition. Example, we will go to the park unless it rains. In the next, there is provided that. This phrase sets a specific condition that must be met. For example, you can borrow my car provided that you return it by 5 p.m. And there is as long as. This conjunction emphasizes a continuing condition. For example, you can stay here as long as you keep the place clean. And there is in case. This conjunction introduces a condition that might happen. For example, take an umbrella in case it rains. And the last but not least, there is whether. This conjunction presents two or more alternatives options, often in the form of an indirect question or to indicate uncertainty between options. For example, I don't know whether to go to the party or stay home. The last but not least material is change time clause. The change time clause is a type of subordinate clause that modifies phrases to express a cause and effect relationship. It is used to indicate that the effect of an action or situation appear at a different time than the cause. This type of clause is particularly useful in expressing complex temporal relationship between events. The structure of change time clause consists of two parts. The first one is main clause. This is the main sentence that expresses the cause or action, and there is subordinate clause. This is the part that expresses the effect or outcome of the action, which occurs at a different time. Here are some examples of main clauses and modified phrases using change time clauses to express cause and effect relationship. The first one is when clause. This subordinating conjunction is used to indicate that the effect occurred at a specific point in the time, often before the cause. Here is the full sentence. This is the main clause, and this is the modified phrase. And the next is while clause. This subordinating conjunction indicates that two actions are happening at the same time. This is the full sentence. This is the main clause, and this is the modified phrase. Next is until clause. This subordinating conjunction indicates that the effect continued until the cause stopped. This is the full sentence. This is the main clause, and this is the modified phrase. And next is as clause. This subordinating conjunction indicates that the effect occurred immediately after the cause. This is the full sentence. This is the main clause, and this is the modified phrase. And there is before clause. This subordinating conjunction indicates that the effect occurred before the cause. This is the full sentence. This is the main clause. And this is the modified phrase. And there is after clause. This subordinating conjunction indicates that the effect occurred after the cause. This is the full sentence. This is the main clause. And this is the modified phrase. And there since clause. The subordinating conjunction indicates that the effect started at a specific point in time and continues until the present. This is the full sentence. This is the main clause, and this is the modified phrase. And there is until clause with a negative. This subordinating conjunction indicates that an action will not occur until a specific condition is met. This is the full sentence. This is the main clause. And this is the modified phrase. I think that is all from me. Thank you very much for paying attention to the material I just explained. See you next time.